Please take your seats, everybody. And now I'd like to invite our honourable guests onto the stage. Honourable Chris Bowen, Federal Minister for Climate Change and Energy. Please make your way onto the stage from my left here. Honourable Alex Hawke, Member of Parliament for Mitchell. Linda Volz, Member of Parliament for Auburn. Liesl Tesh, Member of Parliament for Gosford. Karishma Kalyanda, Member of Parliament for Liverpool. Dr. Jaina Kayarama, Consulate General of India, and Sanjeev Kumar Sharma, Consulate General of Nepal. Please make your way onto the stage. Big round of applause, please. And now I request Chris Bowen to please say a few words.
Gurudev, namaste. Namaste, everyone. Well, Gurudev, as you can see, you are a much anticipated guest, an honoured guest in our country. And there has been much anticipation for your visit. I know from my community there's been much excitement, and it's reflected here in the presence of many members of Parliament and Consul Generals that we welcome you to our country. And your teachings have always been important, but perhaps with the troubles in the world, around the world, whether it be in the Middle East or Russia or Ukraine, your meditation and your mediation is perhaps even more important than ever before. And I don't propose to speak for long because there are many thousands of people here who are very keen to come to hear from you. But I did want to take the time with my colleagues, Linda Volz, Liesl Tesh, Karishma Kalyanda, and the Consul Generals, to welcome you warmly to our country and to thank you for your leadership and your spiritual guidance for so many Australians. Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And Linda Volz and Liesl Tesh, who've been supporting the Art of Living Foundation for many years, will now felicitate you.
She comes from our town, from Bangalore.
Thank you for being with us today, honourable guests. Please can you take your seats. And now, the moment that we've all been waiting for. Let's hear some pearls of wisdom from Gurudev himself.
We just shared a few words with the Honourable Minister of Energy in the green room behind there that said, we are doing the same thing, a different type of energy, of course. He says he's taking care of the physical energy of the planet, and of course, we are here to uplift energy, right? We are all nothing but energy. They are student of physics, you know, it's all just waves. Everything is just wave function. So everything is all energy. Those there in the back, up there, yeah. Now, when we are happy, what is the sensation that is associated with happiness? Have you thought about it? A sense of expansion, correct? When we are happy, what do you feel? There is something in us that is expanded. And when you are upset, it's like contraction. You feel, I feel crushed. Right? The sense of contraction is connected with misery, sadness, insult, getting upset. So there is something in us which expands and that contracts. Yeah? Are you all here? So what is this something that expands and contracts? It works with the stimuli, outside, external stimuli. Someone says some good things to you, you blow up. And someone puts an insult, your upper chamber starts boiling. Correct? But the whole life is spent without paying attention to this energy within us, which expands and contracts. You know, the ancient sages said in Sanskrit, so beautiful, Prasarasatu Vigyeya. There is something in you which is expanding, it's worth knowing it. If you know that something in you which is expanding and contracting, then nobody can take away the joy or smile from you because you become independent. You know, we all have 3 bodies. It may be a new thing for you. I'm not talking about some stuff out there. But practical example of we having 3 bodies, our physical body, and then the subtle body of thoughts and emotions, and then the causal body. When we are awake, we are in the physical body. When we dream, in the dreaming state, we are in touch with the causal body, the subtle body. In dream also you experience all the sensory experiences, correct? You can see, you can smell, you can taste, you do all that. But without using the senses. So the subtle body is the body of thoughts, emotion, and that's where everything happens. And the causal body is what we get in touch with when we are in deep sleep. See, when you are in deep sleep, you don't know where you are, you don't know what you are doing. But when you wake up, you feel very fresh. That's the source of all energy. Just don't let someone sleep for 4 days. Or 2 days, that's it. They won't be able to, they will not be functional. Correct? For a person to function, he needs to connect to the charger within himself. That is the causal body. Or we can call it causal body. We often think that mind is inside the body. But it's the body which is inside the mind. Are you there? It is said, if a speaker is speaking for 10 minutes, you go for a cappuccino break mentally several times. Our attention span is very less. So that's why I'm going to keep you here and keep putting questions to you. Are you there? 25 years ago, the attention span was 40 minutes. That's why classrooms were designed for 40 minutes. Schools, after 40 minutes or 45 minutes, there is a bell that rings and then another teacher comes. Correct? But today what is the attention span? 30 seconds. No, tell me, how many of you have experienced, you are talking to somebody and you suddenly find that person is not there. At home, especially with the spouse, yes? But, hey, are you listening? You say, are you listening? Oh, mind drifts away very fast. Where it drifts is immaterial, but the tendency to drift away doesn't let you settle down, be centered, and slowly miss that spot in ourselves, which is all bliss. Whenever you are happy, you are naturally focused. Just look at the child having a lollipop, pocket, some candy in their hand. You ask them, what's your name? They will not answer you. They are so immersed in enjoying that piece of candy, nothing else gets into them. Have we ever had a meal in which we really enjoyed the meal? You don't have to answer yes. We often do. We keep eating and talking and we don't even know how much we have eaten and what has gone inside. So, there is something in us that expands and that contracts. And today, this is the biggest issue. We have every 40 seconds, one person taking his or her life away. Suicidal tendency has tripled in the world post-COVID. Why people commit suicide? Have you ever thought about it? It is because the subtle body shrinks. When it shrinks, you feel unhappy. It shrinks further, you just want to jump out of the body. It's like you have a scarf which is so tight. What is the tendency? To just remove it. Right? It's a natural tendency. If we put a scarf on the neck of a child, what the child will try to do? Pull it away, throw it away. But by killing oneself, one is not able to get rid of sadness or depression. Because you are in that shrunken state of mind, of consciousness. And insomnia is another such. Sleeplessness. That is also when the subtle body is not living its way to experience the causal body. It gets blocked, choked. It's like your pipe getting choked in winter. And then the water doesn't flow at all. So what is the answer? How do we get rid of these anomalies? That is the secret lies in our breath. Breath is the greatest source of energy that is keeping us alive. Isn't it? Is everyone breathing here? Please don't tell me you're not. We are in trouble. And that won't be true. We won't be here to tell you that you are not breathing. We breathe in and out all the time, but we have not paid any attention to our breath. And the breath pumps in energy that's called prana, the life force in us. You know the first act of life? What's that? Cry? No. We took a deep breath in and we started crying. If you had not cried, your parents would have cried. And the last act of life? You will breathe out and you will make others cry. If others don't cry, you are with your last breath, you have not lived a good life. Isn't it? So in between this first and last breath, we keep breathing the whole time, your best companion, but we never pay attention to this companion. Pay just a little bit of attention. The pranayama, breathing technique exercises will bring in so much more energy to our subtle body and has an impact on the gross physical body, and of course it impacts the causal body, which is all bliss. Yeah? Every night you sleep, you are in touch with the causal body. Deep sleep. Okay, yes, come again. Are you all there? Hope you have not slipped into your causal body. The night you have only dreams when you wake up from the dream state of life. When you wake up from that, you feel more tired. Have you noticed? How many of you noticed this? The night you had only dreams, not deep sleep. Don't you feel tired? Come on, there in the back. Yeah, because you were just feeling only in the dream state of the subtle body. You didn't get access to the deep sleep. Deep sleep is essential. The state of deep sleep is a source of intelligence, source of all energy, and source of joyness. When we consciously experience the causal body, that is a state of bliss. That is meditation. In meditation, you don't know where you are, but you know you are. That's why this was called the fourth state, or turiya. It's the fourth state. It's neither waking, nor dreaming, nor sleeping, but a state where you are restful and you are awake also. There are more than 100 benefits that you get being in touch with this aspect of your life, which is both ancient and fresh as the first breath you are taking now. Yeah? See what is happening now as I am speaking. Do you notice that you are having a dialogue? Your mind is saying yes, yes, or no, I don't agree, no, I can't relate to that. Or yes, yes, it makes sense. Do you notice that you are having a dialogue? So what I say is immaterial, but what your mind is telling you is most important. That is what is the awareness. It's called prajna. Means awareness. You need intelligence and awareness. Both are essential in life. Intelligence is one type of energy and awareness is another type of energy. They both make life complete. It happens smartly. Now what's happening? This is what next? Yeah, I got it. What next? So we are on this rat race of what next, what next, what next, and then we miss what is way right now here. Isn't it? So we keep postponing being happy for some future days. And that never comes. It's like someone trying to make their bed all night, and that's it, no time to sleep. By the time you have to hit your pillow, it's already morning, you have to get up and go. We are in this constant race of preparation, and so we miss the present moment. Meditation is soaking in the present moment, getting deep into that part of you which is connected with the universal energy, universal spirit. So, our subtle body is 12 inches bigger than our gross body. You want to do an experiment? When someone is sleeping, just put your hand within 12 inches from the top of their head at the spot. Just put your hand like that. Not to yourself, when someone is sleeping. You will see they wake up. You don't have to touch them, but you just put something there, they'll move. So our body, the subtle body is 12 inches bigger than the gross body. And the causal body is very vast. It's just like energy. Like you have radio waves of BBC. It's not limited to the boom box that you have. It's not limited to the tube. Where are those waves? It's all over. Radio Australia, ABC Australia, all over. But it just gets projected from the tube, right? The television tube. Similarly, the subtle, the causal energy of us is vast, is all over. One more example I would like to give. You take a phone and you send a message. You type the message and you say send. And that message goes somewhere in America to somebody's phone. Exactly the same phone. Where do they travel? How do they travel? Have you thought about it? No, we take things for granted. We never put our head into them. That message travels, and that phone is switched off. When it gets turned on, only then the message gets delivered there. Right? So all these information, they travel in the space. And the space contains knowledge. Are you there? The space contains knowledge. Isn't that amazing? And there are two dimensions in that. One is a classical chemistry, periodic table, classical chemistry, and other is quantum physics, quantum mechanics. So, according to quantum mechanics, everything is just energy, everything is waves. The table, the chair, everything is all wood. There is a fire, everything will burn. Right? But classical chemistry is the table cannot be chair, chair cannot be stage, stage cannot be door, and cannot be ceiling. Both are essential to know. So there is a uniqueness in each one of us. Everybody is so unique. Only your fingerprint can open your laptop or your iPad. Nobody else. We are all unique. At the same time, we have an underlying energy which is unifying us all. It's the same. We're all same. You can't say, you can say, I am here, my body is different, but I cannot say, this is my air. The subtler we go, we feel there is unity in the universe. And getting into that space of unity and playing in the space of diversity makes life blissful. If you are not anchoring into the space of stability within you, then you are like that, yo. Shall we do a meditation now? Now, one thing I like to, how many of you are working on computer for long periods? And how many of you feel pain in the neck and this head and neck? Can you raise your hand? I'm going to show you a 30-second exercise which will help you to relieve your neck pain and shoulder pain. Can I have the hands up again? How many of you feel this pain in the neck and shoulders? Yeah? So now this is a 30-second exercise you can do anytime. Now, stretch all your 10 fingers, stretch them wide. And turn around. Okay, say bye to pain. And then hold the 8 fingers behind your head like this. And the thumbs at the TMJ, TMJ? Between the 2 jaws. Thumb near the jaws and all the 8 fingers in the back of the head. Now what you do is you move your head, your eyes, keep your head straight and you look to your left side and right side. Left and right, up and down. Now you can roll your eyes 3 times clockwise. Are you rolling? And then roll your eyes 3 times anti-clockwise. You may find your sight is getting stuck in some angle, but make sure it moves smoothly. 3 times clockwise, 3 times anti-clockwise, and then blink your eyes and notice there is some sensation in your fingers. Can you feel the sensation? That's it. Now shake your hands. Now you see. Do you see the relief? When you put your hands like this, you can feel, as you move your eyeballs, you can feel in your fingers some sensations. So this you can do anytime, desktop, in your office, You can blink your eyes. When we are watching screen, we don't blink. When we don't blink, you know what the scientists say? That part of your brain which is responsible for creativity, innovation, starts shrinking. Have you heard about this research that has come out? When you don't blink for a long period of time, your energy that would come up as creativity start dwindling. So tell your kids also, they should blink their eyes now and then. Every hour they should. You don't have to blink your eyes only when you don't know the answer. Even when you know the answer, you can blink. When we are talking to people face to face, we don't stare at them and talk, right? We don't stare at them and talk. We blink. That's a natural tendency. So blinking would be good. Okay? Now let's meditate. You can sit comfortably, easily. You can switch off the phone. I'm going to keep the stopwatch to keep the time. Yeah. People often confuse meditation or spirituality to be something too serious. I just want to ask you a question. Many of you are parents. How do you like if your kids are too serious or having a long face? Do you like that? Now what do you expect from your kids? Happy, joyful. Don't you love the laughter from your kids? Don't you think that's what we need in the world today more and more? Yes. Not the frown, but smile. Yeah? But unfortunately, we have taken all religion, spirituality, everything as though it is so serious, and they don't even smile or laugh. Hey, shh, don't laugh. That's what they say, no? No, we are completely distorted. Meditation, spirituality is something which makes you lighter, makes you happier, more friendlier, more loving and caring. Yeah? That's it, okay. So, let's start by shaking your hands. Shake your hands. Shake off all that stress. You want to continue shaking? You can do it. Be the movers and shakers. Come on, shake more. More. Not just like this. Do your 100%. Do anything you do 100%. And you have done that as a child. You did everything 100%. Do you remember that? No, you don't. When you were getting angry also, you were so angry that your whole body would shake. You are holding something and your mom wants to take it away from you, and you got really mad. And when you laugh from your whole body. You continue shaking. Yeah. Till you get so exhausted. Okay, now you can stop shaking and keep your spine erect and eyes closed. Meditation is a journey from movement to stillness and from sound to silence. So let's keep our spine erect, body relaxed, eyes closed. Let's take a deep breath in and breathe out. Let us become aware of our physical body. Just recollect the weight of your body. Remember the weight of your body, whatever that is, 70 kilos or 80 kilos, 130 pounds, 140 pounds, whatever that is. And also remember your age, 30, 40, 50, whatever is your age. current age. That many years back, when you came into this planet, you weighed only 5 kilos or 4 kilos. And today you weigh 60 kilos, 70 kilos. Let's take a deep breath in, hold the breath, and as we breathe out, let's place the weight of our body on the chair we are sitting. So that just realize the chair you are sitting is carrying the weight of your body. And let's project our mind forward in another 20, 30, 40 years later. This body will go back to the Mother Earth, either as ashes or will disintegrate into this earth. Right now, we are gifted with our physical body, which is the most precious gift to us in our life. Let us honor our own body. Never mind little cough or little discomfort here and there. Without resisting it, take your attention to your feet, feel your toes, your heel, ankle. Relax your feet and just feel them. Feel your feet. And then gently move up to your calf muscle and shin. Feel the nerves, the skin, the muscles, tissues in your legs. We have forgotten to feel our own body. Let us do it now. Honor our own body. Honor your own legs. And then the knees and thighs. Your hips. You may gently come slowly. Feel every part of your body. Honor it and then move on. The thorax region, your shoulders and arms, neck and throat, face and your head. Honor your whole body. A body has 30 trillion cells. And each cell of a body has enormous energy. Honor your own body. Let's move on to the second dimension, the breath. It's the breath that is keeping us alive. Let us pay a little bit attention to our breath. Incoming breath energizes the body, while outgoing breath brings relaxation. Let us pay attention to this phenomenon that's happening all the time. Like fish in the water, we are in air. Become aware of the air all around you and inside of you. Incoming breath energizes the body, and outgoing breath brings relaxation. Let's move on to the third dimension, the mind. Our body is like the wick of a candle. The mind is like the glow all around. Whatever thoughts are coming in the mind, just let them come. Embrace all the thoughts, good or bad. They come on their own and they go on their own. Just be a witness to all the thoughts, pleasant or unpleasant, good or bad. Let's become aware of the space to our right side. Take your attention to your right side, all the way to the wall of the stadium. A gentle attention without much effort. And let's come to the center slowly. And move to the left side. All the way to the wall of the left side. Let's take our attention to the top of the head. A point in the top of our head. And become aware of the empty space above our head. Just keep your attention on the empty space above the head, all the way to the roof of this stadium. We will say gently, Om, that means love and happiness, joy, love and peace. Let's emit the vibration of love and peace. Take a deep breath in. Om. Once again, a big smile on your face. Take a deep breath in. One last time, have a deep breath in. Relax and let go of all your efforts. Next couple of minutes, there is nothing to know and nothing to do either. Just relax and repose in yourself. Let go of all your efforts. Nothing to do and nothing to know. Repose with a smile. You are peace. Let the mind expand more and more. Relax and let go all your efforts. With a big smile, repose more. Let the smile percolate to the back of your head. Imagine the back of your head is also smiling. Let every cell in our brain start to relax, expand and smile. Bring your attention to your neck and throat. Let the smile percolate to your neck and throat. And gently come down to your collarbone and shoulders, the length of the spine. Let the smile percolate to every cell of your thorax region. The whole body is smiling. Let the smile percolate the whole body. We are in an ocean of consciousness, ocean of bliss. Let's rejoice the energy this very moment. Let go and relax. Shanti, Shanti. You are peace, you are. And slowly and gradually, you can become aware of your body and surroundings. And the next exhalation, you may gently open your eyes. Was it good? Guess how long you meditated? 13 minutes and 40 seconds. You feel the time? How many of you didn't feel the time? How many of you didn't feel the time? Let me see. You didn't feel it's 30 minutes? You know, we complain, oh, mind doesn't stay in one place. If there is a proper guidance, mind can sit. Yeah? Few minutes of meditation is equivalent to several hours of deep sleep and rest. How many could not meditate at all? Can you raise your hand? Could not meditate? Were you trying to focus? Force? That is what we should not do. You know? You just catch hold of a teacher and they will sit with you and make it happen. Yeah? Just meet one of our art of living teacher. It just takes 1 hour with them. They make you sit and meditate. Yeah? There in the back? Yeah? Good? Yeah. You have some questions? Megan? Have you got some questions? Yeah?
What can we do to help others when we ourselves are stuck in the chaos of life?
Yeah. How can we help others when we are stuck in chaos also? A doctor is sick himself, how can they treat anybody else? So first you need to get out of your chaos. How can you do that? Two things. One is, no, life has been chaotic all the time. Which when you accept it, it no longer bothers you. Number one. Second, you feel it is chaotic because you don't have energy to deal with it. If you have energy, you will take it as a challenge. When you don't have energy, you feel, oh my God, this is a headache. Correct? Yeah. You know what is the formula for stress? Too much to do, too little time, and no energy. This is the formula for stress. Now, you can't reduce the things that you need to do, right? You can't reduce that. What is the one thing that you can increase? Not the time. Time is the same. Time is the same for the Prime Minister as well as a class 4 worker. Correct? The only variable here is energy. This you can do by breathing, by meditation, by, Sudarshan Kriya. Sudarshan Kriya is being taught in 135 universities across America. In the United States, in many universities, it is part of that, they get credit for this. The students get credit in Yale and Harvard, many places. Because this brings energy and settles the mind, makes you one more centered and brings you more happiness inside of you.
Our scriptures always say that good prevails over evil. However, in this society, people who lie, manipulate and cheat prosper compared to good-natured people. Why is that?
Yeah, because they are not aware what they are doing. They don't know what they are doing. They are poor in their spirit. They are poor in their mind. They are poor in their ethics. They need help. People who manipulate don't see life from a broader perspective. They don't have broader vision about life. They don't know that they are going to die one day. Everything is going to finish. Right? And so they manipulate here and there. They don't know there is a higher law, there is a bigger law, there is a bigger mind, bigger force in the universe. It's not going to spare them. Not going to spare them. You would notice all those manipulated who did all those imposing activity in the world. How did they end up? Where did they end up? Huh? Yeah. Are they happy? No. We have worked with prisoners, we have worked with inner city gang members. Inside every culprit, there is a victim crying for help. If we heal the victim, The complete discipline. You see what I'm saying? Now you get angry, no doubt. You know, every time you get angry, you are punishing yourself. Do you know that? Someone did a mistake. Someone did a mistake and you got upset. When you got upset, your blood pressure went up, your cortisol levels went up. You are creating